the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest podcast with special guests Parth Gadhavi, Alex Mabey, and your host, Leslie Long.
Hi everybody, welcome to our fourth episode of the podcast, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I've got with me today, I've got Alex and Parth. If you'd just like to introduce yourselves and just let us know what roles you play in the show.
I am Alex, and I play Aid Williams in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Hi everyone, my name is Parth Gadhavi, and I play Scanlan in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Excellent. So this is our opening week special. So we're just going to be doing some reflections on the rehearsal process and the play in general. And these guys are going to be talking to me about that. So we'll just kick off. So after spending weeks immersed in the production, what have been some of the biggest lessons or insights you've learned, and that's come out of the rehearsal process?
I'm trying to think in this moment. I think kind of just understanding more of evolving as like the rehearsal period goes on, into like getting more into the character as rehearsals went on.
Yeah.
I can't think of much.
Have you done a lot of productions in the past? Have you?
I've done a lot of school productions.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is my first community thing, so it's good
Okay.
to get an understanding of how obviously this
So how
is
does
different.
that compare with kind of going from a school production to an adult production that's actually quite dark in places?
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy the very themes of this play.
Yeah.
And it's kind of similar to how we would run it a bit at school, but
Yeah.
there's obviously a lot more rehearsal time here
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's
Cool.
good.
Excellent.
Mm.
What about you?
Surprisingly, this is my first ever theatre show I'm doing here in New Zealand, of course.
Yay.
And yeah, I'm really thrilled and excited to be part of this. And I'm extremely grateful to Shauna and the
Yep.
production team for choosing me for this role, for this character. And I'm currently doing my one-year acting program at Hagley College
Wow,
in the
great,
city.
great.
So it's going great, and I'm, bringing all whatever I'm learning and bringing those skills into the role
Excellent.
and to this production. This is a challenge, but in a good way for me to kick off my theater side with this theme, which is about which talks about mental health
Yes.
and well-being and everything. So and yeah, it's really exciting working
Excellent.
with the production team. Yeah.
Excellent. Great. It's great to have you. So One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest touches on themes that are still incredibly relevant in today's times. What do you hope audiences will take away emotionally or personally after seeing the show?
I personally feel that mental health and well-being, like wellness, is like very. It's for me. It comes first in an individual or in my personal life, to be honest, because my point of view is mental health is as important and as crucial as the physical health for everyone. And my this play we are doing, the story itself is so strong. We, as a team, as a cast, we are trying to make it in an entertaining way, which will give audience a really good, fun time. But at the same time, it will tap onto their conscious to think, sit back and think that, hey, it's really important to check in with ourselves, with our loved ones.
Yeah.
So that will be the biggest takeaway.
I mean,
then.
most people know the story, right? They've seen the movie. Maybe some people have seen it on stage, but this is a different format for it to be shown in.
True.
So I think it's a bit more sometimes in your face, really,
100%.
than the film was.
Agree.
Because people are right there in front of you. So how do you hope people are going to feel, Alex, about that? What kind of impact do you think you want to make on the audience?
By the end of the play, personally, I wanted them to hopefully feel a sense of like understanding to the characters and to feel or empathize with them in a sense, and to then relate that to them themselves, and kind of go like understand why they think they relate to this, and then go and look at how their mental health is going, or their society or their family, and see what they could relate as like sometimes with people they may not understand things, and it's good to have something to compare it to, like a production like this that heavily focuses at mental health and all that stuff in such both a positive but also negative light. So
Great.
Cool, excellent. So so this production opens the door to conversations around mental health, empathy and human connection. What kind of discussions would you love to hear people having after they leave the show?
As I said, and again, I would really like if audience, or I would really appreciate if audience look at in a way to actually take a time and think about their loved ones and care for their own selves. It's absolutely fine. I think it's absolutely fine to sit back and take care of your mental health. So I would really appreciate if people do look out for each other, their loved ones, their friends, and stop ignoring those facts and those traits where you feel like, okay, I need someone, I need a help there. So I would really, this is what I'm hoping from the show.
I hope people start to talk or to try and like bring together like a community similarly to what is created present in the show with the acutes. A community where people can talk, where people can make sure everyone's okay and have some fun, because mental health, like the party that happens in the show, mental health can be both enhanced with talking but also by having fun, by making people feel like they exist in a real, by just having them involved in things.
Oh, great. That's awesome. So theatre can often shine a light on experiences that some people might not openly talk about. Why is it important to remind audiences that seeking support and asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness?
It's important. I would like to say that. I'll talk a bit about mine if I'm allowed to.
Absolutely.
I've, as a young person, it's important for us to acknowledge that we need to go see mental health. I've seen many different counsellors, from like school ones to professional ones, due to my own mental health, as I felt like sometimes I'm at risk of some problems. And I really want people who come and see this to go, not be scared of people like this, to look at it and look for people to ask help, and look for the, I say, Hardings or the Cheswicks, the people who are not in the medical profession way, not looking for the Miss Ratchets who are going to demean them, but the people who are going to be kind and helpful, and all that from my own personal experience in that.
Yeah, no, it's really important. Thank you, Alex, for sharing that. How about you, Parth?
Yeah, I completely agree with Alex. And my point here is the times changed now a lot. In last few decades, the mental health and the awareness around mental health has really taken a big step forward. And I want to congratulate all those people who put their hand up and who speak up for themselves and say that, hey, I'm not okay and I need help. And it is a sign of strength, because it's like an old saying that men don't cry. Hey, there's nothing wrong about crying. Exactly. The times change. There's help out there. You can seek support, and your loved ones, your family. I personally feel, because the culture and the background I come from, and everyone would agree, like all the cultures we represent here in New Zealand, that the loved ones are there for you. So it's just a matter of time you go and talk to them and share your emotions, that this is what I'm feeling, and it's not a sign of weakness at all.
It's like saying it's okay to not be okay.
Exactly.
You just have to say it, really, and that's the hardest part, I guess. Ultimately. Okay. So last question.
Yes.
If there's one message you could leave audiences with at the end of this production, what would it be?
My request to everyone out there and to my own self as well, that looking after my mental health, mental well-being is the real self-love. And I'm not ashamed of speaking that out in the world and accepting my own challenges.
Excellent. How about you, Alex?
I think I want audiences to take away the idea that they should stand up for themselves in all aspects of their life, and they should take control of their mental health, physical health, or everything in their life, and make sure they feel okay as who they are. Compared to some of the patients earlier on in the play, and that's
cool. Excellent. Well, it's been a really cool conversation. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you so much for having us here.
So One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is on stage at Rolleston College from the 10th to the 18th of July. Come along, get your tickets, and see what great work these guys have been doing. Thanks.
Thank you.